Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pulse, March 8th, 2023, as we talk about the March is on. I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem. Hanging out in the back is Dr. Quack. He's got some other things he's doing, but we've got one guest here joining us today, so we'll go a little bit short since this card's a little bit short, but he's not short, and you better buy his merch or he's going to come find you. That's the Bossellini, Carter Diamonds.
What it do, people? What it do, people? OG Borsellini in the house.
Welcome to the show, boss. First of all, how are you feeling? I know you've been training really hard. You've been putting a lot of effort in, a lot of time in the gym. How you feeling?
Uh, you know, for this match, I really didn't need to feel that strong. I feel, but never know what's gonna happen with Brick Johnson.
That's true. You
And
never know. You never know with Brick. So I want to talk about the big news that I announced on Monday for Lions Roar 2. We've got a triple threat match with Tin Man putting his career on the line and Villain allowing himself to be suspended until the Soulfire champion lets him out against whoever's holding the Soulfire. What's your thoughts on this? I know you know both those guys very well.
I mean, that's a tough scenario, especially with Villain being one part of the tag team champions. Is he telling us that he don't feel that they can beat the Beard, so they're gonna already beat and lost the tag titles? You know, that's a big scenario because you leave your partners. Because if not, you're leaving your partner out there seven on a limb by itself.
Yeah, but the argument those two guys have always had, they seem to be since they've been here, they've always been at each other's throats. I guess it's boiled over to the point of neither one of them care anymore. They want to, if it means eliminating the other one to get what they want. So I don't know quite how to feel about it, but I mean, what's your do you who do you see? Do you see either one of them being forced to hang it up, or do you see both of them losing in the end?
Well, everything on depend on who's the champ going into that match.
It's true. So so
Because
so let's play a little devil's advocate. I'm going to throw both of them at you. We'll say Mr. Wallace retains first. So the triple threat is Wallace, Tin Man, and Villain.
um, this with that triple threat, it's gonna be interesting because Wallace is a hard person to beat. He's holding the title for a reason. But in Villain's mind and Villain's head, he can beat Mr. Wallace. So if Villain goes in with that mindset that he has about Mr. Wallace, that he can beat Mr. Wallace, that confidence can roll over to him actually becoming that Soulfire champion.
You think the confidence of carrying that tag team title around helps him as well?
Yeah, it does because like the ref said, he said that um the seven star stupid star got things rolling, but then Villain came and pushed everything to the next level. So with that being said, it let Villain know that hey, you didn't have to carry the match by yourself, but you was there and you was noticeable enough to make sure that y'all won the title.
All right. So you would see Villain over Mr. Wallace, so Tin Man would be retired. Is that what you say if Mr. Wallace wins?
Yes.
All right. Now let's throw it the other way. Storyteller pulls off the win, becomes the new Soulfire champion, jumps right into the fire against Tin Man and Villain.
Now this one is a little different because you got to listen to how each of the people talk about the storyteller. There's a difference in having respect and the man putting a little fear in your heart. And the way things sound when you hear people talk about the storyteller, It's not just the respect; it's the fear on top of it, because he ran the gauntlet. He's the first ever pure heart champion. He's the man that got everything ablaze, and he's getting back on that train. So people gonna be worried if they have to see the storyteller. I mean, I wouldn't be, but that's just another story. That's another story for a different day.
All right. So yeah, that's so. Then let's talk about that Soulfire match, Mr. Wallace versus Storyteller. Dr. Quack, did Promo Vegas favor Tin Man Storyteller? Or did they favor uh, Mr. Wallace?
They actually favored Mr. Wallace by 1 point.
All right. So Promo Vegas sees Mr. Wallace a favorite by 1 point, a very slim margin. What do you see?
This is one of those matches where Storyteller has to show why he deserves to be the champion. You know, he didn't show why he got there, but now it's what makes you a champion. But the bigger and harder task is defending. And when you go out there and basically everything depends on your ability to defend yourself without actually looking like you're defending yourself the whole match, it makes it a different story. Because the thing is, as a champion, you got to defend the fact that you're a champion, but attack the person as well without leaving doors and cracks open. So it's going to be a tough one. And if Wallace sticks to the game plan that Wallace done been on right now, that 1 point is going to be correct. It's going to be a close one, but Wallace will walk away with the win. But if he falls under that stigma that everybody else been falling into, of Storyteller and did this, Storyteller and did this. Storyteller, the only thing he hasn't done is singles wise is won the Soulfire title. And so he's gonna go out there with that mentality of like, I don't care who you are as a champ. It's time for me to continue my legacy and show why I am one of the best singles competitors there is.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very, very close match. I'm looking forward to seeing it. My only question would be, Mr. Wallace has shown that the 2-minute match, he doesn't fear that. Hollywood Haywood dominated for a long time, but Mr. Wallace showed he has no fear. Do you see the Storyteller suffering because he tends to like to tell a nice, long, elaborate story? Do you think he'll be able to adapt to the 2-minute style?
That's the biggest question and that is the biggest question, is can Storyteller condense his story?
That's true. That's very true. So let's talk about the match. Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought, boss.
I mean, because me personally, like, I'm not a 2-minute guy. I like to go long. And having to take what you got and condense it is hard, especially when you're somebody like Storyteller, when you like to use props and other things. It makes it harder. And it's like, what has Storyteller been doing since he won the opportunity? Has he been working on adapting that style into his repertoire? Because if he's been working on adapting that style into his repertoire, you might be in trouble. But it's all on, like I said, it's on Wallace to lose.
That's true. Very true. So let's talk about the match you're in here, boss. The Cartel has been hired by Dr. Quack to take a handicap match to Brick Johnson. I kind of want to know a little bit more about, I don't want to delve into too much of Cartel business. That's Cartel business, but kind of how this whole thing came about and how you guys feel being used to attack Brick Johnson like this?
Well, first things first. As you can tell, Mr. Johnson won't show up when the cartel's on the screen. He didn't show up to the interview. He won't show up on the Pulse. You know, when you're scared, you're scared. You know, but you think that with something, the opportunity that he gets if he wins, you'll be all over the place trying to get this done, trying to take out the cartel because, well, you get a free opportunity at a title. You know, you get the AEP treatment. You get shot all the way to the front of the line. And, you know, you ain't got to beat nobody important. Well, let me rephrase that. Because you get in the cartel at a disadvantage. Cartel's been on a bad spot. We lost every piece of gold we had. There's some little health issues here and there throughout the cartel. This is when you want to strike. You want to strike while the iron's hot. But even when it looked like the cartel is down, an opportunity like that, we couldn't pass up. And we won't pass up.
Right. And just to let everybody know, to remind Brian the boss, is that if you guys pull off the win, each of you have to decide between the two of you, but you get a shot at a number one contender match. So have you guys even talked about who would go after Soulfire and who would go after Pureheart, or has that not been discussed yet?
It's in discussion because it's going to depend on who holds what title.
Okay. And so I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to dig any more into your business on that one. I don't want you to play all your cards out. I want to let you continue your business.
I mean, it's hard to play all the cards, especially when one of the matches we got to look at is a 4-way for the Pureheart title.
True.
So, of course, both our eyes are on that match. And I told my brother Heathen, I said, look, depending on who wins, I'll let you choose what title you go after. It's not, it's not about me. It's not about the boss. It's about the cartel. It's about the family. So if my little brother want to go and cut his teeth at that Pureheart title, I'm right behind him. I got his back. But that means, though, if he does that, you will see what happens when the boss speeds things up. When he take it to the next level to get everything in 2 minutes. I'm not gonna say that I'm afraid of the 2-minute match because that's not the case. But I also told Wallace that if I ever get an opportunity to face him one-on-one, I'm coming for the jugular. I'm not going to play no games with you, Wallace. So I want you to know that. I'm not playing no games. But if you lose that match and the storyteller wins, well, I heard that there's a story that needs to be told or needs to be finished with the Heathen and the storyteller. So, like I said, it always depends on who wins what matches.
All righty. And then I want to go into the next thing. It's cartel business. A lot of cartel business going on here in Heart and Soul Promotions. So make sure you're paying attention to what the cartel's got. April, you guys are the next in line for a tag team shot. So I know you're watching Fear the Beard versus Gimmicks or No Gimmicks Needed. DDP, Dusty D. Paul, and the Villain.
No gimmicks needed. Funny. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because like I said the last time this is spoke of, DDP and Villain got exactly what they wanted, and no one paid attention to it. You make it where you seem like you're the face because you say going into this match, if we win, we're gonna go with the live match. But if we lose, you know they're gonna take the pre-recorded match. So you knew that if y'all lost, the pre-recorded match happens, and you still look like the good guy because you were going to go for the live match from what you said. We knew both teams wanted the pre-recorded match. But the thing is, it all depends on that one-on-one match going into that tag title match. And it depends on which member of the cartel steps out there, on who you see. But we already know what the outcome is. If the cartel winning, we going back live the way it's supposed to be.
All righty. And have you guys talked about, based upon who wins, what version of the cartel we'll see in April?
Yes, actually we did. It's gonna be a little switch up, because with everything that's going on, and we're talking about the opportunities, we beat Brick, we got opportunities at the beat Brick, we got opportunities at the Soulfire and the Pure Heart title. Then we got the tag match. But we can't forget that my brother, the man that had held us down for the longest, Mr. A-List Alverson, has that opportunity for being the champion as long as he's been, that he has that opportunity to throw his hat into any title match. And if he chooses the opportunity before any of us, it'll be, like I said, I'm gonna let A-List run his singles route for a while, and you'll see them two Ohio boys link up. And you'll see what happens when them boys from Ohio, them Buckeye boys, get loose out there. Because you don't really want to see them Buckeye boys together. That's the reason they were complaining when they said Heathen and OG been hooked up. The cartel then grew members. Because when we grow members, we look at how it's going to affect the whole game.
All right. So got one more match here since looks like she's watching. Toadster Damas threw out an open challenge. He wanted to keep the momentum rolling, and Mizaria answered the challenge. What is your thought?
Hold on, I got breaking news here. Brick sucks.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Quack. Thank you for that.
But I also have somebody else for you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lulu.
Yay!
Lulu. Speaking of, so I want your thoughts, Lulu, on Mizaria taking on Toadster Damas.
Mizaria scares Lulu. She's always turns off the lights and makes her scared. And Toadster's loud. Lulu hates loud people. Lulu would never be loud.
Okay.
Anyway, it's gonna be a close match. It's gonna be a knocker slobber.
Slobber knocker?
Yeah! That's what Lulu said.
And I think if Dr. Quack, am I correct that Lulu has got her debut or got the debut show during this the March is On? Is that correct?
Yes, you're going to see the Mr. Lulu show here during our halftime break here. You'll see it.
Yeah!
All
And
right.
Lulu's getting paid, unlike that cretin Brick Johnson.
Oh, that's why Lulu got a halftime show because you're not a fan of Brick Johnson.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I just said that Lulu's getting paid and Brick is jelly.
All righty.
Well,
Thought
they
you called
was
him a
paying-
cretin. That's why I was verifying.
They was paying
Yeah,
Brick.
Lulu had that one backstage and it sounded cool.
Okay.
They were
You were
paying
saying
Brick, but they were paying Brick, but Brick was eating too many of the donuts. So
Wait,
Like-
donuts?
he'll take. See, that's the reason you didn't know about the donuts because Brick take them all.
And he poisoned my coffee.
Yeah!
Ah. All right, so boss, what's your thoughts, Tonstradamus? I know you're a big Tonstradamus fan, and you've faced off with him, taking on Mizaria.
Like I've said so many times before, sometimes you gotta fear the unpredictable. And everybody knows that Mazaria is very unpredictable. Odds were against her when she faced against Old School. But we heard your winner, Mazaria. And it's things like that that makes these type of matches hard because the thing is everybody knows about Tonster here, because Tonster's been in the inner loopings that rotates around here. So everybody knows who Tonster is. But not that many people knows about Mazaria, which makes it actually a disadvantage for Mr. Tonstradamus. And yes, I like Tonster. Tonster had the ability to be at that time he had the opportunity to be a shot caller, but they're neither here nor there. And he's going a route, and he has a big match after this match that if he loses this match, it might cost him that title that he's going for in that 4-way at Lions Roar.
All right, so I want to kind of get your feelings on that as we get ready to wrap up the last little segment here. Each of the three competitors, Tonstradamus, Iron Bison, Shady Sean McKenzie, and Hollywood Haywood, all are going to have some final thoughts on this show before they get into their final training for the Lions Roar. Do you see anybody making a statement or an impact in their messages that swings momentum in their favor? And Lulu, will start with you on that.
Well, there are 4 people in that match, and Hollywood Haywood made the biggest statement by beating Avis Alverson. That being said, Iron Bison complained that he barely was able to beat Brick. That being said, can he bring that energy that he was missing after the 4-way? In the 4-way, Iron Bison was loud and boisterous. Now he's like, I'm Iron Bison. I'm not even a real cow.
Okay.
As for Shady Sean McKenzie, he always has something to say. You can't even put a microphone backstage or he'll steal it and start beatboxing. And Tonster? Well, we'll have to see if he can beat Mazaria and if that will affect his confidence, because he said he wants new blood on the list. It could, if any of them win, it's new blood on the list. Except for Haywood. He's already on the list.
All right. And boss, do you think anybody's going to build some momentum from these comments they have?
I believe this is going to sound real. Shady might be able to add a little more momentum on his way, because Shady's one of those people that knows how to give just enough that it's going to make you want to see what he's going to do. So Shady could be the one that does that. But the thing is, even with momentum going or momentum not going, Hollywood is the man to beat. It's not because he's the champ. Because it's exactly what Mr. Lulu said. He's the champ, but he beat A-list. And and some people's eyes is they trying to figure out which one is the bigger accomplishment. Is it winning the title or is it beating A-list? Which one carries the most weight? Because if we look at it, we look at Tonster, right? Tonster has that ability too, because when he came in, one of the things that everybody was talking about is Tonster's the person that beat A-list in Revolution and took the Revolution title from him. So the question is, two guys that did what most people feel is the impossible. Can they now use it to beat the others? And that's where everything comes into play, because not only are you fighting yourself, you're fighting for yourself. You might be the person that delivers the shot that makes sure somebody else's win. If you don't believe me, go back to last year's Lions Roar. The judges would have told you that if it wasn't for Mr. Wallace saying one line, that person that walked away as the Pure Heart champion wasn't going to be A-list. He'll still been a member of the cartel, but it just would have been the OG instead.
That's true.
So you gotta sometimes think, are you helping yourself or are you helping somebody else? And that's where people gonna start thinking with Shady and Bison, because they're buddies, they're friends. They're part of the Iron Club. But the question is, who's going to lay down for who?
Fair point. And Dr. Quack, is there any other announcements or anything else we need to say before we go into final thought?
Yes, there's breaking news. Brick Johnson is in complete hiding right now. He said that he will not come out of his house. He is scared to death of this match with the cartel.
There it is. So, final thoughts going into the show tomorrow. Lulu, final thoughts about building up for your halftime show.
Lulu's very glad she has this. She has stacked it with 2 exclusive touches on the co-main event, an insight on the Brick Johnson situation, and an exclusive interview with Cocaine Bear.
All right. Make sure you guys tune in to check that out. And take us home, Carter Diamond. Final thoughts.
Why his match?
We're going to do this. We're going to make this real simple. We got 5 matches that's going to be intoxifying. We're going to come out. We're going to see who swings for the fences and who tries to bunt. But at the end of the day, you got these people that's going to show you why.
Senpai!
Oh, did I miss the show?
Sorry.
It's okay. Finish your thought, boss.
Turn this up.
So they're going to show you why right here in
Loud enough for me over
HSP.
here.
It's going to be something that people are not expecting. It's going to be something that's going to catch you on the edge. And I'm not going to lie, I can't wait to see the Mr. Lulu halftime show, baby.
Yay!
All right, welcome to the show, Vagabond or Baba Yaga. We got the alternate personality here, Baba Yaga. So we were finishing up, but we'll give you a chance to take some time here. You've got the triple threat match: Damian Cross, Mad Dog, and Vagabond. The winner gets a number one contender shot for the Soulfire.
Oh my god. Anything.
Can you hear us, Vagabond?
Aw.
Oh,
We'll see if you can.
He said he'll be back in just a minute.
Yep, it sounded like he was having some hearing difficulties in there.
2 and 2.
Hmm.
All right,
Kitty!
so I'll ask the both of you while he's coming back on. We'll start with you, boss. The triple threat: Damian Cross, Mad Dog, Vagabond.
Well, as we seen on the post last week, mind games are a B word. And apparently Cross had got hit with some mind games and he was not able to handle himself.
You probably saw a rainbow.
So the thing's going to be now, since we already know he can't handle a mind game, and Vagabond is the king of mind games, the true king of mind games, what's going to happen? You know, Mad Dog is, you know, what they always call the underdog in a fight, but he can take some of the best to the limit. So you never underestimate the Mad Dog. But for me, I'm giving a win to Vagabond.
All righty.
I just want to say, hi, Mama Purge.
Yes, Mama Purge has been watching and joining us. So, Lulu, your thoughts on that triple threat?
First off, I like Mama Purge. She's nice to me. In other
She's a very
news,
nice lady. She is a very
Yeah.
nice lady.
triple threat
Mama
match.
Purge. Mama Purge.
There's
Mama
Damian
Purge.
Cross, who's scared of rainbows. And then there's Vagabond. And then there's Mad Dog, who's not even a real dog. Anyway, I think Vagabond Senpai will win.
All righty. And Dr. Quack, has he returned? Has Vagabond returned?
No, but I'll give my final thoughts here.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to this show. This show, I believe, is definitely going to be like the 1-inch punch because it doesn't have, 10 matches on it, but these 5, yeah, they're deadly. You got some big, tough matchups here. And, yeah, here is Mr. Baby Yaga here, Baba Yaga.
All
Hey.
right. Can you hear us now, Vagabond?
Yeah, I can hear you. My phone was acting up, so I had to restart it.
It's okay. So I want your thoughts on your triple threat match: Damian Cross, Mad Dog, and you.
They're not prepared. They're
Fair enough.
absolutely unprepared for me.
Oh, and we have a special guest, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the PPA CEO, Justin Smith.
Oh,
Thanks for the
joy.
invitation.
Oh my God, he looks just like Dogs!
I'm not the Purge.
Yeah,
Just
it's,
look
kidding.
it's
like
I'm-
CEO Smith. It's CEO Smith. Yes, sir.
Again, thanks for the invitation here. I personally appreciate it here.
No problem. Vagabond, finish your thought. You were talking about the triple threat.
Okay, so they're not prepared for me. I could tell you that off the bat. And I've watched the hypes. They are not prepared. Then last week you had Damian Cross come on the Pulse screaming because Mr. CEO over here kind of upset him.
I wasn't at the post last week. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
the Purge that was here last
It
week.
was his
They
twin
look
brother,
very
the
similar.
Purge.
Yeah. I know they look a lot alike, but you could definitely, when you actually look at the two of them side by side, there is a difference between the Purge and CEO Smith.
Yeah, because
I've
one of them
always
had
loved
hair.
to wear jackets, so Purchase obviously not wear jackets, so yeah.
Well, and actually, CEO Smith is a few inches taller than the Purge too.
Yeah, that's true.
And CEO Smith
so
has a few extra pieces of hair on his head too.
that's true. So CEO
Correct.
Smith, did you have any important business to share with us? Anything big coming up in the PPA world?
Except for that, we gonna gear up for Promo Mania 3, which is coming April 29th and 30th, where this beautiful president here is gonna be fighting
Hey, I'm
Hollywood
still waiting
Hayward
to
in
see this because I haven't seen a response to this. I put out a challenge here to the great Hollywood Haywood here, representing Foundation, to see if he'll accept. I'm waiting to see if he will.
Maybe, could be. And yeah, this we have in 2 weeks PPA's Roadblock, the last stop to Promo Mania, and I usually came here on to analyze the show with the marches on. So I don't really have any business here.
It's okay. So we've kind of gone over things, but I want to get your feel on the big match that kind of is turning everything. The two title matches. The first one, the Soulfire match. We've got Storyteller and Mr. Wallace.
Well, this is really a difficult matchup that we're gonna see here. I mean, Mr. Wallace has this cool and chilling style, while Storyteller is going full force with the intensity here. Do I see a potential title change here? Yes and no, but I gotta go with Mr. Wallace here. I mean, he needs that champion's advantage. He needs to prove himself why he is the Soulfire champion.
All right, and then Fear the Beard coming in a vignette match against No Gimmicks Needed. DDP, Dusty D. Paul, and the Villain.
Ooh, this is hard. This is really hard. I mean, No Gimmicks Needed had that one golden shot against the cartel here. It's really too close to call here, but I gotta go with the reigning tag team champions here. They need to prove they are not just a one-hit wonder there.
All right. And the last one I want to ask you about is Tonster Damas sent out an open challenge, and Iron Bison Mizaria responded. Your thoughts, Tonster Damas and Mizaria?
Ooh. I would say two out of the mind promo are just gonna clash in that matchup. I'm gonna go and say we're gonna see an upset from Mizaria because I don't really think Tom Damas is ready for those mind games that Mizaria is gonna play.
All righty. And then Lulu is having a halftime show. Was there a possibility that Lulu could have a halftime show at Promo Mania?
Could be. We could have some contract negotiations there. I mean, I would see what she is going to do with the halftime show tomorrow at the Marches On.
All righty. So, Lulu, you might want to make sure and reach out to CEO Smith afterwards. Maybe the Lulu show can go on the road.
CEO Smith. CEO Smith.
Yes.
Why haven't the cartel received the paperwork that you were supposed to send us? You said you wanted us to show PPA what a tag team looked like, and I ain't heard nothing else from you.
I have a fun idea. Respond to me with a paper after a roadblock because I do have an announcement there, which is might interesting you and the cartel especially. I do think you two, you three, I'm sorry, will like the surprise.
That's some big news. To be watching the PPA page for all the details about Roadblock and upcoming shows. Ah, there you go.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mama Purge. I'm the PPA CEO Smith here. I'm not the Purge.
I know the difference. Little figure out the difference.
That's the
Justin
biggest
Smith
mysterium
doesn't
in
have a
the
dirty
world.
mouth.
Oh, that's true too.
He's not a facker.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We've got final thoughts from everyone except Vagabond and CEO Smith. So, Vagabond, your final thoughts.
This is going to be a fun show. Everybody's going to bring their best. At least I hope they bring their best. Everybody's going to show out. More eyes are going to be on the product. More people will get their names out there. To my opponent, however, you won't have such luck. Because it's unfortunate that they put you in a match with me. Considering you've never faced me before or even studied me, what chance do you actually have? Might as well call it another clean sweep. Because that's what it's going to be.
All right. And CEO Smith, again, thank you for taking the time to come over and discuss this show with us. PPA and Heart and Soul have always had a great relationship. Give us your final thoughts.
I personally cannot wait to watch the show there with my management team there, because we always love to watch the HSP shows there, especially when it's a strong card like the Marches on here. So to everybody who is going to watch and be participating in the show, have a great time there and show out and burn the house down.
All right. And on that note, I want to say thank you to Boss for joining us, for Dr. Quack for giving us all that breaking news that he had.
See, Brick, look what happened. You didn't take care of my kitty. See?
To Lulu to hype up the halftime show that Lulu has. To Vagabond for your comments, and for CEO Smith coming to join us and giving us some insight from outside the Heart and Soul circle. I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem, for Dr. Quack and all of our guests. Thank you for joining us, and say thank you to Mama Purge. Soon we might have some Mama Purge merch.
We do have Mama Purge merch right on Redbubble. Make sure you go check that out, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye,
Cartel merch